there was a survey conducted in 50 states that found that almost a quarter of young people in the US think that the Holocaust is either a myth or at least exaggerated. This is one of the most horrific stories that I've read because it shows that ignorance is a big problem when it comes to historical events, no doubt. Also, conspiracy theories that have been spreading far and wide on social media apparently have made an impact on what young people really think about the Holocaust. Now, the survey was done among young millennials and Gen Z, ages 18 to 39. It was conducted by the Conference on Jewish Material Claims Against Germany. And I'm gonna read you the numbers and they are horrifying. So according to the survey done in all 50 states, 1 in 10 young Americans believes that the Holocaust never happened, while almost a quarter, 23%, believe it is a myth or that the number of Jews who were killed has been exaggerated. Meanwhile, 12% of respondents say they have never heard of or don't think they've heard the word Holocaust before. How does that, how does that even happen? I don't understand. Let me give you more numbers. 11% of respondents believe Jews were responsible for the Holocaust. Almost 2/3, 63%, were unaware that 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust, while more than a third, 36%, believed the death toll was closer to 2 million. 6 million Jews were murdered during the Holocaust, 6 million.
Yeah, so look, if you ask someone how many deaths were there and they said 5 million or 8 million or 4 million, that bothers me less. Most people know almost nothing specifically about history. Believing they were responsible for it though, that seems like a qualitatively different thing to get wrong. Believing that it was almost nobody, that seems like a pretty different thing and probably not independent of your beliefs about other areas of history and politics. It's just devastating. I mean, most Americans learn very little about history, and then when you combine it with the way that literally every section of American society seems designed to allow you to persist with an ever narrowing, like, worldview, just beliefs that are convenient that you wrap yourselves in like pajamas, and anything that doesn't agree with that, you just shy away from instinctively. It's scary. It's scary to think about the future and to think about what those numbers are going to look like in 20 years.
Yeah, and this survey was specifically on the Holocaust, and the results of the survey, again, I keep using the word horrifying because it really is horrifying. We're supposed to learn from our history in order to prevent this type of, tragic, event to happen again. But it's not just about, you mentioned history overall, you're right. I mean, Paul Krugman over the weekend had tweeted something ridiculously wrong about how Muslims are treated in this country following 9/11. He tried to make it appear as though Americans didn't panic after 9/11. They were actually pretty cool with Muslims. That was like the most insane, like, revision of recent history I've seen in a long time. Like, I know that it didn't just happen. I mean, it's 2020, it happened 19 years ago, but I remember 9/11 as if it was yesterday. And I also remember the years following 9/11 when the FBI was working alongside the New York Police Department to infiltrate completely innocent Muslim student groups. You had the New York Police Department going undercover to go on like trips, like college trips with Muslim students, and they would totally invade their privacy, profile them, and treat them as if they're criminals. Of course, there were a number of hate crimes against Muslims and Muslim groups following 9/11. It was just ridiculous, right? And so when you do that kind of revisionist history, or if you spread these types of conspiracy theories online, sometimes people don't know what the truth is, and you can't learn from your history, and history can repeat itself. So I don't know, this kind of stuff really depresses me because in order to really fight for a just society, you need an informed electorate. You need people who believe in democracy, who believe in humanity, in the need to protect one another. That's the kind of society I want to live in, but we're so unbelievably far away from it. And I hate ending the show with that, but yeah, go ahead, John.
Well, Let me make it a little bit more depressing. Yeah, and I know that it's the natural course of every generation to believe that things are inevitably going to get worse. I feel like we have better evidence than the past generations, and I, it feels fundamentally like we're sort of, I don't know, like patching holes on this thing, but it's going down. That's what it feels like. It feels like, how can you have a media that does the job that media is supposed to do when more and more Americans every day are signing up to not care about facts or whether what they believe has any grounding in reality? I don't know how you're supposed to have a functioning democracy with that. Yeah, no, I don't know. This doesn't end, by the way, with me then saying, but on the other hand, no, I don't know how this is gonna work long term.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.